the kind that prevailed in the age of colonialism and imperialism. Persistent and highly motivated populist resistance of politically awakened and historically resentful peoples to external control has proven to be increasingly difficult to suppress, as protracted guerrilla warfares in Vietnam, Algeria, or Afghanistan have amply demonstrated, and as the rising turmoil in both the Middle East and Southwest Asia are foreshadowing.
That's Zbigniew Brzezinski acting like all the things are happening, they're not behind it. So again, they know about the awakening, so they're going to hijack it before it happens. It's like Red Adair would detonate TNT, the famous oil well fighter, on top the oil well, with a bigger explosion to knock out the explosion. So that's how they describe it. They know when a country's about to melt down because they're manipulating the economics of it. They have the supercomputers on record. They go in with their revolution groups that are standing by to go, the answer is more government and more gun control and more open borders and more taxes. That'll make it great. Look, I'm trendy. They literally hire trendies and buy off local news reporters and people to be part of the movement, to act like they're against the government, to then get control. That group stays in a few years, gets paid off, acts like they're opposition against the new revolution group, so they just create synthetic revolution. That's why the revolution can't be just a new revolution, a new group. It has to be an idea, so that there's a manifesto, so that ours is the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, Constitution. It goes past religion, race. Hey, I want my private property. I want my due process. I want my privacy. I want my own children. I want to run my own life. As long as I don't hurt anybody else, I want to be free. And I don't want government taking my tax money and giving it to select groups to build monopolies. You just right there enshrined everything that is true liberalism, true veritas, true constitutionalism, called right-wing hardcore extremism today. The labels mean nothing, ladies and gentlemen. What we have is a criminal, kleptocratic, global cabal using high-tech, Delphi techniques and other social engineering to manipulate the population. I only got this next segment and one more before LaRouche comes on. I want to hear from people, serious callers. Do you disagree with me on Ukraine? But, I mean, can you imagine if we were shooting police like that, what they would say? Notice these globalist-funded revolutions are always burn some stuff, shoot some cops. A real revolution would be marked down where all the globalists live and then just have an idea like V for Vendetta where you all go one day and do something. It's an idea. You can't stop it. You can't find the cells. There are no cells. These aren't real revolutions. They don't want to teach real revolution. You know what our founders did once they started coming after us? Once they started sending out death warrants on patriots? They're death warrants on them. Two-way street. Oh, no, we're all taught, go shoot a cop. Just some random cop out there. That's how you have a revolution. Or George Soros, you just go, pop, shoot a cop in the head. And then, oh, it's a hero, all this other. That's how communists roll, folks. That's what this garbage is, and it's wrong. It's globalist funded from the bowels of hell, ladies and gentlemen. Know your enemy. Identify who's behind it. You want to talk about violence, and I don't want that to happen. I want to be in the InfoWar, but I want to show the police who are getting these armored vehicles and all this preparing for war, what'll happen with a crowd, even of Soros morons, what they can do with Molotov cocktails and fire. You know, the police roll in these armored vehicles and try to stop the protesters burning down buildings, and they all sit there. By the way, I mean, it's so cowardly. You've got the military there and the police. They've got a machine gun on top. They don't even open fire. They've been told not to. And they roll in to try to stop them setting fires, and they throw fire all over the armored vehicle, and it burns up and blows up, obviously cooking the police inside. I mean, listen, I'm rolling up, and I've got a heavy machine gun on the top of my armored vehicle, and you're throwing Molotov cocktails at me? I'm going to open fire on you, period. And that's what I'm telling you. The police have been told, stand down, so all this can happen, because the government knew it was unpopular to join the EU. I told you this weeks ago, they're playing patty cake. They're involved in this, folks. They're encouraging this takeover. You watch. This is rotten, 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 rotten. But the point is, is that your armored vehicles aren't going to help you if there's a real civil war in this country. Of course, real revolutionaries aren't going to go after you when you're in your armored vehicle. In fact, real revolutionaries aren't going to go after the guys who are in the armored vehicles when they're at the bar. We're not going to go after you unless you come after us. We're going to go after your bosses. We're going to go after them where they live. And everybody knows that. All right? We're going to go after the people pulling the strings. We're not your enemy, police and military, and you know that. But the whole point is that they are trying to maneuver us in this situation, and we need to stop it. Here's the toll-free number. I want quick calls, just your take on Ukraine, where you think it's going. It's obviously staged. It doesn't mean there aren't bad on both sides, but this is just bad news, folks. The globals are trying to overthrow any sovereign country they can, from Syria to Ukraine. 800-259-9231, 800-259-9231. And our Congress voted last week to endorse all this and to call these people heroes and call for sanctions, give the police fire back when fired upon. And I mean, I'm sorry, folks, it's cowardly to shoot a cop who isn't shooting at you. Introducing Pro One. All of your filtration in one system, portable, on the go. No more do you have 2 or 3 filters to just reduce sodium fluoride. You have a system that cuts out the sodium fluoride and up to 95% of hydrofluorosilicic acid. Advanced manufacturing technology combines silver-impregnated white ceramic with new Aquamedics advanced media for removal of fluoride and other heavy metals, all in one filter element. It is the only one that does it, and out of the gates, we have it discounted at 10% off with promo code WATER. This is the only system that in one unit helps reduce or remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, ammonia, and chlorine, hydrofluorosilicic acid, the most common form of fluoride not covered by other fluoride filter brands, and sodium hexafluorosilicate. Get your Pro Pure with the new Pro One filters today at InfoWarsStore.com or by calling 888-253-3139.
To thank you for being a loyal listener, we have a limited time freebie offer for you. Claim your free heirloom tomato seeds, just pay shipping, right now at 123freeseeds.com. These aren't ordinary seeds. These are heirloom, non-genetically modified super seeds that are open pollinated and can be grown, harvested, and replanted endlessly. These survival seeds are actually more valuable than gold in a crisis. Go to 123freeseeds.com and you can get an airtight storage packet of 150 super seeds free while supplies last to say thank you for being a loyal listener. First come, first served. Just cover shipping. Go to 123freeseeds.com now to see if your free heirloom seeds are still available. That's 123freeseeds.com.
From the Berkey Guy, now comes Survival Cave Food Storage. All natural canned meats with no MSG, fillers, or chemicals, and with up to a 15-year shelf life. On sale this week, 12 14.5-ounce cans of ground beef was $123, now just $113. Or 12 28-ounce cans was $164, now only $154. Free shipping within the U.S. Go to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. Helping thousands prepare since 2005, GoBerkey.com.
You've been hearing about the amazing benefits of Heart and Body Extract for many years. Now, hear from the co-founder.
My name is Tony Knudsen, and I am the co-founder of Heart and Body Extract. We've been in business for over 13 years now.
With thousands of satisfied customers who have experienced the amazing benefits but never experienced a price hike.
We've kept consistent pricing the whole entire time the company's been in business, and will continue to do so.
Call today for Heart and Body Extract, 866-295-5305, or visit hbextract.com.
Another ragtag band declaring independence. Laid their bodies down on a bloody war and liberty for their descendants.
Thanks to the Renegades.
Thanks to the Renegades.
We're free today. I salute our founding fathers and those that fought with them and the women that supported them. And I salute everybody since then and before then who stood up for human liberty. Because without the renegades, Lord knows where we'd be. You know, I don't want a French Revolution where you put in one group of criminals after another and things get even worse. I don't want to sign on to every globalist revolution that comes along because the Ukraine wouldn't sign on to the EU and be politically taken over. I image Saruman the wizard talking to Gandalf, and he says, I tried to have you aid and join me willingly, but you have chosen the path of pain. And that's basically what they've done to the Ukraine, and it's totally lawless. It's totally illegal. It'd be like if the Russians were trying to get Mexico to break up and, you know, become an enemy of the U.S. or something. It is absolutely bad guy behavior. And it's not even our government. It's George Soros and the foundations that have already hijacked us. That's the thing. It's all done in our name. It is outrageous. And they will do the same garbage here, ladies and gentlemen. There's Kurt Nemo's article, Soros-supported protesters turn violent Ukraine. Protesters want country to integrate with European Union. That's right. Join with the big superstate or we'll burn and shoot everyone. That's foreign sedition, ladies and gentlemen. I don't care what the protesters were saying. We're going to burn everything if you don't join this political group from the outside. That's globalism. That's the New World Order. They come finance an idiot group, a minority of the people in Ukraine, to burn everything if people don't go along with this. It's outrageous. And our media calls them freedom fighters, just like they called the Serb rebels. The Muslims heroes, and they called Al-Qaeda in Syria heroes. Cops tase deaf man having diabetic attack. Now, I see articles every day where somebody's passing out or having a diabetic attack or deaf or mentally retarded, and they beat them up or kill them. Bush-era diplomat says Ukraine situation a threat to U.S. national security. Outspoken neocon says activists shooting cops are friends of liberty. That's a quote. Justice Group warns of Obama plan to put government monitors in newsrooms. Oh, it's already starting, yeah. We're going to cover that. Does the trail of dead bankers lead somewhere? Yes, it does. And we're going to get into so much more. New Jersey police chief speaks out against town council corruption and gets relieved of duties. American Stasi police start staring us in the face. Very important article by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. Let's go to one call, then more calls in the next segment. We got Raptor Man calling from New York. We got Tom in Maryland, Judy, Habu, Julio, and others. Tom, thanks for calling in. You're a retired police officer. You want to comment on Ukraine? What do you think of what's happening?
Good afternoon. Thanks for your position on pointing out that we as police can also get caught up and be victims as well. I'm a retired cop. I also worked with the Netherlands National Police Force in the 90s for a period of time. And cops everywhere have a lot in common. I've not been to too many countries where you find a lot of differences. You have a few bad apples, but for the most part, police are citizens who are simply trying to do their job. It's a perfect segue, though. I wanted to point out, we're so fortunate right now in America that we have a judicial system that allows us to wage a real, quote-unquote, civil war on paper. And I think it would be great with your platform if you could have some focus on what we as individuals can do.
I'll tell you what, stay there, and then I want to get your take on Ukraine. We're coming right back. Stay there. Don't hang up, Raptor Man. We'll go to Tom, then we'll go to Judy, then we'll go to Habu and Julio, and we'll get to you one way or another. In the last 50 years, iodine has been phased out of our staple foods and replaced with the halogen bromine, a practice now banned in nations around the world. Guess what else is in the halogen family? Fluoride. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Jones here. In 1924, the federal government did the right thing and encouraged salt producers to add iodine. It's the good halogen on the periodic table, and the results are on record. Reports documented a 15-point IQ increase in areas that had previously been deficient in iodine. Bottom line, iodine is important. Unbound, clean, in a glycerin base. Nascent iodine was the answer for myself and my family. You will find Survival Shield Nascent Iodine exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. InfoWars Life Survival Shield Nascent Iodine isn't just for emergencies. I take it every day. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.